Welcome back to the Watchtower Film Podcast, the film review podcast on the Towercast Network. By Cinephiles, for Cinephiles.
Wow.
That's a zombie chant there.
I could do one better, bro.
Yeah, do it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You
never go full zombie.
You never go full zombie.
I went 90%.
Gus was like, I'll do it the night of.
The night of.
Oh, he's a night of kind of guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, daddy.
Oh.
So am I. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to finish off, no pun intended, our director debut series this month.
Yes.
On the Watchtower Film Podcast. Before we do a couple housekeeping items, first of all, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. That helps us a ton, and we love interacting with you guys, so please do.
Yeah, do that.
Listen to Dahmer.
Boy.
It'll be good, or he'll eat you. Now... No,
still clip that.
Is Dahmer a zombie story? I mean, he eats. Anyways, no, I guess they're dead already.
One of them escaped with a hole in his head. So
That's a
Dahmer?
good point. One of
his victims.
Oh, really? With a hole in his head?
Yeah, the cops brought him back. The cops were like,
Yeah,
yo.
you would know, wouldn't you?
No, what?
A Dahmer impersonator. The other housekeeping item is July 10th. We are celebrating at the Plaza Theater.
What's going on July 10th?
10th
He was about to say it if you would shut up.
The 10th
I'm sorry, Carlos, go
anniversary,
ahead.
the 10th anniversary of Tower Productions will be celebrated at the Plaza Theater in downtown El Paso. This is a 2,050 seat theater, man. We got room. Come along, bring your homies, bring people who love movies, love cinema, and if they don't and you want to expose them to that, come and celebrate with us. This is more about Tower and less about Tower rather, and more about just celebrating cinema in El Paso and what everything's about. So, in fact, so much so that in case you've been going to the filmmaker meetups, we've conspired,
planted a seed of sorts,
to have the filmmaker meetup this month be the Tower thing. So I've been talking to Raul. Shout out to Ra and
back on the grind.
Back on the grind.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, that's the man. And we're just gonna like this month. The month of July is gonna be Tower month, so to speak. So, so just come out and celebrate. You're gonna be seeing some more posts and that kind of thing. It'll be a lot of fun, and it's free. You don't have to pay anything. You just got to show up at 5:00 on July 10th at the Plaza Theater.
What if I want a drink?
There will be a cash bar. Ding. There'll be a cash bar, and it'll be there for the whole evening. So while we watch films and
you can get blasted.
Commemorize and commemorate on Tower, we can have a drink, quite literally. So come and join us. It'll be a lot of fun. Lots of surprises in store, so we're very excited for that.
Why don't we make a Tower drink that they
He's
get asked
made a
for?
Tower drink in the past. In fact, I think it's still there.
It's at the
It's
Crown
still
of
at the
Crows.
Crown of Crows.
Nice,
It's
nice.
still
It's
ordered.
called the Tower. Actually, so very cool.
Sweet,
Shout
sweet,
out
sweet,
to Crown
sweet.
of Crows.
Crown of Crows.
We could tell the bar, the cash bar.
That's
to
what
make the
that's
Tower.
what I was insinuating.
That's
yeah.
true.
Very a possible thing. I'll mention.
Can we get the Jason made?
What's
Oh,
the Jason?
man. The
Yeah, that
thing
was
we
actually
did.
really good. Anyways, please come celebrate with us July 10th. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Moving in to what we're going to cover. Before that, I'll introduce everybody in the room. Mr. Ricky Rodriguez, who picked the film today, fellow writer-director. Give me Oh, that's right. That's true. Just because you love him so much. Edgar Wright, I mean.
I would have for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a double pick.
Double pick.
Good choice.
Mr. Austin T. Young, fellow producer-editor. Give me his perspective.
Love you, man.
And Mr. Jean-Eric
pretty good.
Castro, who actually picked the film today.
Yeah.
Yes, this is one of my favorite films, actually. So.
Yeah. Very excited to talk about it. Mr. Michael Lelaw, offering a cinematography perspective.
This is my personality now, so everybody's going to have to deal with it.
I'm a little scared of him now. Can we call HR?
Scared of him?
I called HR, and he told me to suck it up.
You could try. I mean, I don't know if he'll listen, but you can absolutely. The
Wait,
number's
why
live.
did you call HR?
Huh? You were being mean to me.
Yeah. Do
I
you
have-
want the audience to know that?
I'm a sweet person. I would never be mean to you.
And now you're gaslighting me.
When was I mean to you?
It's too hard to talk about.
So it never happened.
I'm
Anyways,
going to bring
Carlos,
up HR.
You are humble.
I'm your humble film servant, Carlos.
Is that him?
Offering you a
That's you,
directing
brother.
perspective.
Oh, my
It's like
God.
looking into a mirror, huh?
Yeah. We're back, ladies and gentlemen.
By the way, I did go into work today,
And you said, oh, my bad.
no, and then one of my coworkers was like, "Sup, Dahmer?" And I'm like, "What? That's so mean." Like,
Look, man, you do it to yourself. I don't know what to tell you.
cool.
All right. Well, as long as
That's what he said, too.
hey, so like, when Doug started talking through the device on his neck, did you freak out, or did you and Russell like eventually accept it? And
I actually don't know anything about the downward story.
you've never seen Up?
No, I haven't.
Oh, how dare you!
I'm
What's the matter
sorry.
with
I'm sorry. I
you?
didn't know I
You
had
wear the
to.
glasses, but you don't know the
I
story.
didn't, maybe
You
I had seen.
uncultured swine.
How did you not know Up?
I don't even know what swine is.
Are you,
Pig.
Pegg.
ladies and gentlemen? We're here to finish our directorial debut month with a fan favorite. I'd say a lot of people are massive fans of this film and this director.
Yes, and the two actors.
And the two actors, that's
comedy
very
duels,
true.
for
It's like
sure.
Laurel and Hardy, right? They're one of the modern, like,
Hardy and Laurel.
yeah. You're Hardy and Laurel.
Carlos, what are we covering
We're
today?
covering Edgar Wright's 2004 zombie flick Shaun of the Dead. Except we don't use the Z word.
Yeah, stop using the Z word.
Zed.
I like that they're British, you know? That's just fun. That's just funny to me.
I like the little
They
one.
didn't, yeah, basically. We're talking about Shaun of the Dead, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Castro picked this film, and because he did, you get to figure out who goes first and last.
And in the middle.
Can I say why I picked it?
Yeah.
You know, for a directorial debut, I mean, come on, man. He knocked it out the park.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's up there.
we talk
I mean,
about
it's-
blueprints. You can see the trademarks for this guy
For sure.
later on for his career, like the
Definitely.
fast-paced editing.
Zombies.
One thing that from like a bunch of viewings that I really noticed was the music, the way he syncs the music into certain
Oh,
scenes
yeah.
is.
I mean, I kept saying Baby Driver during this film. Like, it was
you
very
see a lot of
much
that for
the
sure.
DNA of Baby Driver for sure.
And then besides that, I mean, it's a very like obviously a very original zombie comedy film, but at the same time, there's a story above it, right? It's about maturing,
Yeah.
relationships, and to me, it's almost like zombies the metaphor for the film, right?
Sure.
You know, you're just going about your routine, and you're like the main character, Shaun. He's thrown into you have to grow up, and I think that's the main emotional core of this film that I really really like about it.
Yeah.
And then the third reason is obviously, like I said, the two comedy duo, Simon Pegg and
Yeah.
Nick Frost. The three actually, Edgar Wright, Nick Frost, and Simon Pegg, they actually started with Spaced, the TV series.
show.
So it's always good to know, like, once they did their film, there was already a friendship and a connection with them, and you could see it.
They
in
already
their
had that like rapport, right?
Yes, yes,
Definitely.
yes. So that's one of the main reasons why I picked Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, then Simon Pegg and Nick Frost have this great thing. I'd say that most of the films they've done together, to include even not the Edgar Wright ones like Paul and stuff like that,
Yeah.
they're about that. They very much follow the same kind of formula, not in a bad way, but it is very much about, is a friendship holding you back? Is a friendship making you better? Is it making you grow as a person, or is it kind of making you
Exactly.
stunted? A lot of the themes are very the same. I mean, Hot Fuzz, I'd argue, is probably in the same vein. Definitely World's End.
Even like you said, like Paul. Paul is that whole thing about like, why are we doing this trip in the first place? And it explores like male friendship.
Sure.
They have that constantly in like all their
Definitely.
films.
I love Paul.
Yeah, and you're right about Spaced. Spaced was very much. It's a very interesting story on going from space to this. I mean, Edgar Wright was already kind of doing well in the TV space, and he like committed to not do any more TV, despite the fact that he was broke.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that he was so broke that he was borrowing money from Simon Pegg just to survive.
Holy
No
shit.
way.
And the cool part about that is that till this day, Simon Pegg has never allowed him to pay him back, despite the fact how
that's
well off
cool.
they are.
Yes.
But it's he just wanted to commit to making a film, and from the point of getting rejected from a ton of studios to the actual making of the film, it took 18 months just to get this thing off the ground. Being broke for 18 months consistently when you've had a pretty successful TV career and you
Right.
could have like made some cash.
What's the premise of Spaced?
I've never seen it.
It's basically, Seinfeld, British Seinfeld.
Oh man, it's got that weird style to it. It's
I'm noticing I like a lot of British films.
Yeah. Yeah.
have you ever
Richie
explored?
guy.
I always think of that meme that you never understand what they're saying.
I don't know, but he's really confident, so it just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
gets me going.
It's yeah. The only other person I really have heard talk about space is Ricky and Kevin Smith. And that's because Kevin like hosted a Q&A for Edgar, like to just like see 3 episodes of Spaced. And that was like one of the early things he did for Edgar. They're buddies. They're
Yeah.
good buddies. In fact, Kevin told me that he got invited to the Running Man premiere, and he didn't go. But
Aw.
yeah, like him and Edgar are buddies, and their careers are very similar in the sense that you roll your bones making comedies with your friends, right? And that's where that comes from. But Edgar Wright, again, I think has matured as a storyteller. I'm very excited to get into like who I think he is now and just talk about that.
Trajectory.
But before we do, I think ratings are in order.
Do I give my first or at the end?
That's up to you.
Yeah, you can always decide.
Well, I'll give mine right now. I'll give it a 9.5.
9.5.
I know it's high. Yes, it's.
Man,
This is my
that's
guilty
some
pleasure.
slacker rating right there.
This is your jam.
Yeah, this to me is a almost perfect film. You know, I don't know, cinema wise or whatever, it's great. But I'll start with Ricky since he also knows about Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Hey,
Oh yeah,
Up to bat.
I'm right up there with you, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a solid. I'm gonna go with Shaun of the Dead. I'll go. Damn, it's tough.
It's all right. Let it go.
I'll go 9.3 just so I
Give
I can
yourself a
give it. I
scapegoat.
can give it so much higher, but yeah, 9.3. I think it's a solid film, solid director, solid filmmaking, and then. I mean, if you're gonna rate it as a directorial debut, it's got to be higher because it's so great.
It's up there.
Exactly.
It's up
But
there.
yeah,
I might go as far as to say it's almost a remote dropper. I know there's not a lot, but this is one of those that each
that's
scene is
fair.
kind of one of those that you want to watch again. But for me,
for sure.
That's fair. Who's next?
Austin, what you thinking?
I think I'm sitting like at a 7.9.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of where I'm at. It's a
You-
great directorial debut. It's a fun story. You know, a couple arcs here and there for the characters. And ultimately, it's, I would say, the definition of like a popcorn flick. But I could see why it would be a remote dropper.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's, you see so much. I think Edgar Wright in this film, out of all the directors we've talked about, has had his own. He's had his touch in his films from the very beginning,
Yes.
more than any of the other directors we've talked
Agreed.
about.
Yeah.
But yeah,
How much was this film shot for? I know he's
it was
probably
like
the
a
one
couple
with the
million,
most.
and
It
then-
Yeah.
shows
And the-
in pounds.
Yeah,
but
pounds.
It grossed 30, and I think it was made for like
Something like 2 or
Our British
something.
fans, can you guys translate for us?
4 million pounds.
that's probably like what, 4.5, 5 million
gross
US.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, that's
now.
a lot. Yeah, that's pretty much
Yeah. No,
Nice.
it's very impressive.
nice. Carlos, man.
Austin kind of read my mind. I'm somewhere there. I think there's. I'll go a little lower just because I think there's room to grow and there's certain directorial debuts that, we didn't talk about this month. We probably have talked about in the past, but to compare directorial debuts and not talk about something like Citizen Kane, right? I
Right.
mean, are we gonna give Citizen Kane you know what I mean? If we're gonna go into the 9 territory, I think that has to be talked about. So I don't know. I'm probably like at a 7.5 just because there's a ton of merit. And I really admire Edgar Wright, and I really admire that he was trying to do something special from the get-go. And he kind of stuck to his guns. And not only that, but I think the thing I admire the most about this screening, I've only ever seen it probably twice.
I was gonna ask you, are you 2004 saw it first, or
No,
you later
definitely
on?
not. I saw it much later. And I remember when I watched it, I kind of wanted to get into the Cornetto trilogy because I saw World's End first. Before,
Oh, man,
yeah,
of all things
I
to see
started with
first.
World's End. No, but mind you, I didn't really get into Edgar Wright, like deep into Edgar Wright, probably until like Baby Driver. That's where I was like, well, I got to go back. This guy's got.
I
a
really
ton of
didn't know
talent.
much about it. I knew about the film, but then you told me about One Night at Soho.
Last Night in Soho.
Last Night in Soho, and I was
movie's
like,
incredible.
whoa,
It's
this
such
guy
an
is somebody I
again,
wanna-
the growth.
Yes.
And again, I think just like from Baby Driver, I started seeing this really great pivot. So I'm like, I got to go back and see where this guy comes from, and then finding out that he's a much bigger cinephile than anybody really gives him credit for. And knowing that informs a lot of his work. I mean, to mention Shaun of the Dead without mentioning Night of the Living Dead it has to be. He drew virtually everything from this film.
Yeah.
To include the fun jokes like Barbara, his mom being named Barbara, and they're coming to get you, Barbara. All that stuff's from fucking Romero.
Nice.
Which I'll talk about more in detail later, because George Romero got a kick out of this fucking movie, which is the best thing to hear, right? But I do applaud that, because again, I think your first films is where you should emulate other directors and explore what makes you happy, what makes you laugh and sad, and I like that about Edgar Wright. But I think when I was watching the Cornetto, I think it all started with World's End. And then I went to Hot Fuzz. I worked backwards.
Oh,
I
wow.
went to Hot
From the
Fuzz,
third
then I
one
went to
second.
Shaun. So by the time I got to Shaun, it was like, I think Hot Fuzz might be better. And World's End is my favorite of the trilogy. This is a very unpopular opinion, but
Really? No,
I
mine-
love World's End. I think it's so... Again, it's just like a director who's finally refined his style, and to go back to Cornetto and to go back to the town where he grew up in and where he shot most of his film, or this trilogy in, rather. And to see him mature, to see him refined as a director, it's cool. I think that's why I like World's End a ton. And I think of the three, I see that depth, despite the fact that it's a sci-fi film, despite the fact that there's
That
a
one's
ton
very
of,
sci-fi, yeah.
I think it's the best because in terms of character arcs, I think World's End has the best character arc for Simon Pegg's character. And Nick Frost's character too, remembering it now.
I mean, as you could also say for Hot Fuzz, they both at the end. It's just
No, it is great, and like for those who don't know, the Cornetto trilogy is called the Cornetto trilogy because of the pastry, right?
Yeah.
And the filling is different, and this one is alluded to be the red filling because of the blood and the zombies.
Oh, I did not know that. See, this is why you watch this
Hot Fuzz
podcast.
Is
It would be
blue.
Hot Fuzz is
Blue.
blue.
Hot Fuzz is blue
Blue.
because blue cops,
Right.
And then green, sci-fi, aliens, that kind of thing. So there is
That's
like an
cool.
intention behind it. But Edgar Wright just came up with it just because
Oh yeah, it's something. Better than
it's
nothing.
fun. But anyways, I think just the Cornetto trilogy is arguably the most valued thing of Edgar Wright's filmography for Edgar Wright fans, and to see the inception of it is really special. There's a lot of merit in this film, and there's a lot of fun first-time filmmaker merit.
Yeah,
you celebrate
absolutely.
that because it's what we were doing, right? It's like the kids wish they could do this for their first film, and that's really special. So,
But with this film, you can see that there's something special with this guy. He's
yeah, for
brewing
sure.
up something.
I mean, look, he did this. He made box office returns. He impressed the guy he was paying homage to. That's so special. And again, I'll say the last thing I'll say about this is, I give this a ton of merit and a lot of credit because Edgar Wright, no pun intended, and I mean this sincerely. He made this a very British film. Yeah. He made this a very British film, and to lean into that, to lean into your culture, and to not the whole
I'm
thing.
glad
with
you mentioned that. Yeah.
The whole thing with like Shaun of the Dead is comparatively to American cinema. There's one gun versus American cinema that's like shotguns and gun centric. Yeah. They very explicitly didn't want to do that for this because the British. I had a friend who like lived in the UK for all of his college years, and he would tell me, he's like, there's no violence out there, man. You know what violence is in the UK? I was like, what? He's like, you get pickpocketed. Yeah. That's it. That's like the worst of it. Pickpocket. There's no gun violence. There's like not people running around, and it's
you just get stabbed.
Well, yeah. A lot of it has to do with the fact that they kind of hate American culture and they hate Americans, and they're like, look at these donut gun-toting Americans. Like, they don't like that.
It also helps to justify, I think, for us that his aim with the gun is just like pissed off.
Shit. Yeah.
But like, I didn't even think about that. I'm like, God, he doesn't know how to like point it straight. And then it's like, has anybody ever used a gun? And it's like, well, he shot his sister with an arrow one time. And it's like, okay, I think you'll be the one to hold it. But
I like that they lean into that. I like that it's a very British film, and they weren't trying to make another. Though I agree with Austin that it's a popcorn flick and it's fun and you watch it and you have a great time, and it's one of those like, I'd go to the movies for this. It's that type of thing. It's not an American popcorn flick, it's very British, and its jokes and its pacing, and its performances.
Definitely very
I have to applaud that because I can't imagine that's easy because English language films tend to blend and get blurred between the lines, and I think this film was picked up by a big company, Working Title, and a couple other production companies, and it had a bigger distribution down the line. So
Yeah.
the fact that it connects with audiences all over the world, it's special, man. It's what you want to do. If you're going to implement some of your culture, you would hope that it reads across the board, right? So I really do applaud Edgar Wright for that. So
Nice.
7.5 for me.
7.5 is fair.
I think I'm gonna go.
Before you answer,
Yeah.
the cinematography, come on, the oneers, the steady cams, that's my jelly right there.
Oh man, I mean, we can talk about that, but I don't. This is not reinventing the game
For sure,
And
for sure,
you know
for
what?
sure.
I think that's an important note because
He's emulating.
no, like when you're out the gate with your first film, I mean, you know, like you don't expect a lot of people to innovate the game. You know, you expect them to, like Carlos was saying, you know, that's when you want to emulate. That's when you want to use the tactics that were out there. There's people who have already invented the tools and they've already invented the techniques. Don't pretend like your first time doing it, you're gonna know everything. Just take on the things you enjoy. And I feel like with this one,
I love
I
these.
think
I don't know
they
why.
knew the beats he wanted.
Yeah.
They knew the tools at play.
I was gonna say, like, he gets a 10 for me when it comes to intentionality. He wasn't just doing a fun oneer. He was
He
doing a
did it.
oneer to establish the world and to
And then
show
again-
that there's life and the reverse of, like, there's zombies in the background and the world is
Same.
changing.
Yeah.
I think he did that masterfully, and I think he did that again using cinematography to the benefit. You know, the stylistic stuff's fun. It's a zombie film. Have fun.
Also, the fact that, like, comedically, all these callbacks, like he just really knew that he wanted to use the callback as like a great motif to like basically show the parallels of like
You got red on your shirt.
you got red on your shirt, or like at the very beginning, like
got red on
I'll
you.
stop doing it when you stop laughing.
Oh,
and,
dude,
you know,
that's my favorite, dude. It's
those
just- it hits
callbacks,
home.
they didn't have to do them a lot, but when they did do them, because of where it's referencing from,
Very intentional. Very good writing. And Simon Pegg co-wrote the script.
Yeah,
Really?
with
It's
Wright,
important
yeah.
to know because Simon Pegg's a good writer, man. A lot of people don't know that Simon Pegg wrote some of the new Star Trek films. Like, those were his, and they're good films.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was
He also helped
attributed.
in Mission Impossible.
He did. He
Oh,
did help on
shit,
Mission
that's
Impossible. He wrote some stuff for Star Wars too. He's a good writer. He's a really good writer. Yeah, and look, like The World's End, I think that was his entirely. I don't even know if Edgar co-wrote that.
I heard a story about that, which I'll ask
Oh,
you
he
to see
did-
if
he
you
did
know.
quote
But as far as this movie goes, I think because of how well everything is, it's still missing some stuff to be 9 and to be innovative. But I do feel like it's a great, solid film. I want to say 8.5. 8.5 feels
That's
like
fair. That's
yeah, it feels like the right place to be. It's a wonderful film. I think a lot of people who watch it and like they want to develop their comedies, or they want to develop, like, you know, these comedy action movies. You can take a lot of inspiration from here.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think that's really special. But
Sweet.
cinematically,
Damn.
I think he's definitely growing. And
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's where you can't like give him too high up.
I don't think anybody's here. I don't know if he's treating the one for you, one for me kind of format, but nobody's here saw Running Man, right?
I haven't.
Nobody saw it, and
I
I
have
don't
to.
know that anybody was running to see it, despite its big budget and it's a remake of an Arnold Schwarzenegger thing. And
Was it
Glenn
theatrical
Powell.
or Netflix?
Oh yeah, no, it was theatrical.
Oh, damn.
But like Glenn Powell being the it guy that he is right now, and that kind of thing.
Saw it.
Your dad saw it? Did he? Whatever.
Yeah, he was like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That worries me a little bit, but at the point Edgar Wright is right now, maybe I'm not too worried. Maybe this was just like a fun passion project for him, and
Yeah, you know, I mean, also like doing everything right, using like a big star right now, a known franchise. Like, again, it gets your money because I mean, I think Last Night in Soho we've talked about has so much merit, and that should have been his. I think we talked about it as a snub, no?
I don't know. I think we kind of mentioned it as an honorable mention, but I think for me, Last Night in Soho like showed so much range and intentionality, and
I mean, that's
Yeah.
probably his best, I guess, overall.
just
I
in
guess.
terms of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's certainly my favorite. Baby Driver's up there for me too.
Oof.
Baby Driver's
I
a
forget about
very
Baby
special
Driver.
film.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he draws it out of people, and I like that he's working with. Hey, look, it's Flea.
Hey, who doesn't like hats?
I like that he's working with actors now. You know what I'm saying? Like, not a knock to Simon Pegg and for crying out loud, Nick Frost is Dumbledore in the new Harry Potter series. Like the man is earned his
I think
stripes.
that's a perfect casting.
That's him.
Perfect
He's
casting.
he's gonna be Hagrid. Hagrid, not Dumbledore. Hagrid. He's the new Hagrid.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like again, they're good actors. I kind of fell in love with Simon Pegg during the pandemic. He would go live, like on Instagram and shit. Very commonly, and I always try to get him for the podcast. I never got through, but I would talk to him in his live, like I'd comment shit, and he would respond. It was always with his daughter. His daughter was like a big part of those, and he loves his daughter so much, and they're like. It's like Simon Pegg reincarnated into a little girl. I mean, at this point, she's probably
Nice.
16, 17. But I love that about Simon Pegg, and he's very human, and he's very grounded.
What about Scott Pilgrim? I know you or one of you guys really liked
Oh,
it.
it's really good. I think it's really,
I
really
like
good.
Scott
Pilgrim
Pilgrim
is
very much.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a weird
sure.
one for me. It's a weird
I
one
think
for
you
me.
and Austin don't feel too great about it. Austin
Yeah.
didn't like that one either too much.
I can respect it, but it's just a little
agree.
weird.
I think it just it was this beautiful blend of like retro video game beat 'em up,
Hyper-realism.
yeah, with his style, and they pair so well
Yeah.
together. There's
I
gotta
like,
take another look
I
at
like the
Wait, Edgar Wright did Scott Pilgrim?
yeah.
Yeah.
No wonder I didn't like it.
Like,
Whoa.
the concept of it, I think, is
Were
genius.
you talking the
too.
whole movie too?
Oh,
Are we gonna make out Rick or?
but what I like about, I mean, it's also based on a comic series and
Yeah.
shit like that. But what I like about Scott Pilgrim too is that
shit.
yeah, Culkin. I forgot he was in this. Is I felt about Scott Pilgrim the way I feel like Robert Rodriguez felt about Sin City when he picked up the Sin City book and was like, this
where you're
cinematically
going.
would be incredible. I remember seeing Scott Pilgrim for the first time and being like, fuck, this
Yeah.
is so cool and creative, and like the comic book sprints and the comic book effects, and I thought it was so cool. I thought it was super creative, and it looks like, if for better or for worse, Edgar Wright seems like he has an incredible time making movies. Like he has fun. This is
Yeah.
fun.
I gotta take another look at this.
Yeah, I really do like Scott Pilgrim. And not to mention the arcs of like you got to battle. It's a great idea. You're gonna battle my 10Xs or 5Xs, whatever it is.
I also love that
It's
the
so
character
fun.
is such just like a neutral dude that when he has to fight the anti version of himself, he's like, yeah, we're gonna get coffee. He's pretty chill. Like,
And to
It's-
cast Michael Cera in that is pretty genius too.
Genius.
I also love the chick, man. The what's her name?
Ramona Flowers.
Ramona Flowers. I mean, I saw her in Disney Channel growing up and like Sky High and shit. So like to see
she
her
was the
do-
Sky High.
She was the Sky High love interest.
What?
Yeah, that's her.
I remember her from Birds of Prey. She was Huntress.
Nobody saw that.
You know, that was
I
your
saw
first
it.
mistake was watching that film. But no, I'm kidding. But yeah, I forgot fucking Anna Kendrick was in this film too.
Didn't she
Jeez.
date Edgar Wright because of this film or
Yeah.
something?
Did she actually?
She
Yeah.
dated
Yeah,
him?
lucky
Off of this film.
bastard. And then you're in love with her too. That's the other thing.
I say no wonder he loves Edgar Wright.
It's like
Hey,
a
we need to have
circle.
a conversation with Edgar Wright, Rick. He worked with Anna. He worked with Anya Taylor-Joy. What the fuck is going on around here?
He's doing something.
Doing something right. No, yeah, but it is really cool to see. And to your 8 to 5, I think that's warranted.
I'll real quick side question. I heard that with At World's End.
No,
Sim-
this World's End.
Okay, World's End. That Simon Pegg wrote that one as an apology to Nick Frost.
Yeah, he did because he was always kind of the brunt of the joke, right? Like he was. There was. They also didn't talk for a very long time, and that was part of it. They
Also, wasn't it because
they had a falling out.
Also, because Simon Pegg was going through addiction, no?
He had like an alcohol thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, not Pegg. Frost. Frost was going
No.
to addiction.
No.
No.
Pegg.
No, Frost was like an alcoholic, and that
Well,
was
Pegg
part of
was
their
as well.
problems. Oh, maybe it
Yeah,
was
Pegg
a
was
dual
as
thing,
well.
but yeah,
Yeah, I
no,
thought-
they were both. I knew that about Frost. I knew Frost went through like a heavy.
See, I
like,
didn't know that. I knew
alcoholic
Simon
period.
Pegg for sure. He said that he found out when he was doing Mission Impossible. He was like, "Oh wow, I'm having to get through some pints." just
From
to
what
get-"
I understood, Nick Frost. The reason they had a falling out was Nick Frost was like showing up to meetings and to set drunk, and it became a problem. That's what I read, but this was a long time ago. You might be.
I
right.
read that Simon Pegg was very
Pegg?
no, he was very
Dependent.
well at hiding it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might have been both of them, but I
Yeah.
think eventually they found their way back. As I understand correctly, they're super cool now, and
Yeah.
they're starting to write again. So that's very exciting.
Yeah. But that film was almost like I think
I
that's
never
that
knew
extra
that.
layer.
Yeah, that's true.
That
That's true.
You know, it's two people genuinely trying to reconnect and
Yeah.
be like, "Hey, let's try this again." And in the movie, it's this guy who's like, hey, gets his high school buddies.
He's trying to get his high school buddies.
What
Yeah.
I find impressive, and like, call me crazy and call me like pretentious, but what I find impressive about Edgar Wright is that how these things are packaged. Two buddies who like their routine of going to the same bar, and it's packaged like a buddy frat comedy.
Yeah.
That's how it's packaged, but it's not like that. It's not cheesy.
Yeah.
The writing isn't like in poor taste or bad. It's very clever writing.
It's very clever. Yeah.
I like to think that that's coming from a place of Edgar Wright being a cinephile, and that's why I say, like, call me pretentious, but I do think that his knowledge of cinema, like him being an encyclopedia, especially of British cinema, like, that's informing his work, because this could come across as cheesy. And I mentioned that in this podcast.
Yeah.
It's so hard to make something that is cinematic and that simultaneously can appeal to any wide range of audiences.
Yeah.
I think most of their fans, or most of Simon Pegg and Nick Frost fans, they're just dudes who saw this in college and enjoyed this fun, alcoholic-driven thing. You know, like,
Yeah.
but I think it's much more than that. I think the writing is very solid.
And it only gets better when they work again and again.
I'll say this, like, I remember watching this, like, God, for sure not when it came out.
Like high school, maybe?
No, like younger than that. And I remember when I saw it, it was, like, really, really fun. Me and my buddies watched it. And then I just kind of went through, like, a stint where I watched it almost every night for, like, a while.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I know that.
So I've seen it at least 100 times. Like, I just remember always watching it. It got to a point, the only reason I stopped watching it is because I would usually, like, throw it on while I'm doing something else, and then I'd, like, pass out in my room, and then
pass out.
No, and then, like,
No
my
wonder
parents.
that British accent comes out every once in a while.
No, my parents, like, came to me at, like, breakfast one time.
They're like, hey, son, do you need a bottle of water?
No. My parents came to me one time.
Why you being such a puff?
And like, so all you need to know is that, like,
You need to stop taking a piss and take your life seriously, eh?
like, why do you have so many fags in your mouth? But it's like they came up to me and they
Definitely
said,
have to cut that one out.
No, it's a cigarette.
No,
It's fine. It's Pride Month. No, they had what?
Keep going, bro. You're on the roll.
They like, we were sitting down at breakfast and I remember they were telling me that, like, hey, you got to stop putting on.
Nah, bro, that can't be real.
I'm serious. They said you got to stop putting on Shaun of the Dead. And then I was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, well, it's because you keep falling asleep and you have the movie on, like, on the DVD player. And then I was like, well, what's wrong with that? And they're like, well, you're freaking out your brother because it would go back to the main menu, and the main menu of Shaun of the Dead is a bunch of zombie noise. So my brother would go to bed every night. And, like,
That's
so,
great.
and then, like, lightning and thunder. So it's like, you're scaring your brother, so stop it. I'm like, okay, fine, I'm sorry.
I just really hope you really
That's
could
funny.
respond to him and be like, Mom, Dad, stop taking the piss, eh?
What
fun.
does the guy say? Like, oh, prick. And it's like, what'd you say?
Yeah.
What'd you say? No, but like,
We're coming to get you, Barbara.
I loved it, and the only reason I bring up that story is because I remember, like, watching it, and it was just a fun, like, comedy zombie movie with these two, like, goofs trying to survive an apocalypse, and they're doing it the only way they know how. And even, like, that whole bit where they stop to look at their records to see what's the right one to throw.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the classic,
I love all the moments, but then I guess on this rewatch, because I haven't seen it in a little while, the soul story dynamic of, like, Simon Pegg's 29 and that even being, like, an element of, like, dude, you're almost 30 and you're still, like, just going to the bar every day, and you still have your roommate who's your buddy since you guys were kids, but, like, you keep defending him and you keep holding yourself back in all these different ways. And it's like, when are you gonna, like, make a real decision or grow up or do something? Even, like, after a whole breakup and everything, his best way to deal with it is that they're, like, partying.
Yeah,
or, like,
just
and
get
it's
drunk.
kind of like, dude, we have jobs. Like, when are you going to grow up? And that dynamic to me felt super interesting, because then it's like it took the world literally ending for this guy to finally grow up. And that question of, like, what is it going to take for you to change, you know? And
It seems...
But he didn't fully change, and that's the funny part.
yeah, right. He goes back to the shed and plays video games with his zombie
But
buddy.
baby steps and stuff.
Baby step, yeah.
No, but I mean, the other thing to note is that from what I understand, this film, and very much both of their dynamics, Nick Frost and Simon Pegg's, it's very autobiographical. Like,
Really?
they take directly from moments of their own lives, and they used to live together, And like the funky part about this is that, though, in my opinion, like in terms of the performers, Nick Frost is the one I can't draw my eyes away from. Like I watch Nick Frost.
Well,
Because,
he's the lovable guy.
I don't know just about lovable. I just believe him more.
Really?
And because of, like what's striking about that is that Nick Frost was cast and spaced because Simon Pegg told Edgar Wright, like, hey, my roommate's pretty funny. You should just like bring him on. He was no actor. He had no desire to be an actor. He didn't care. He was just a fun, naturally funny dude.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, he's kind of like gels into himself, and I believe him a lot more. He's much more relaxed. Doesn't seem like he's trying to impress anybody or be over performative. I think he's just naturally that guy. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't think he's clearly not a one trick pony if he's cast as fucking Hagrid. You know, like he's clearly got some chops now.
Well, even in World's End, you see the vast.
the growth.
Oh, yeah,
he's playing the
definitely
straight guy
filmed,
there.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's the
they
one. He's the one
basically-
concerned about his friend.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I remember when seeing World's End, and it's such a flip between the both of them. Then now Simon Pegg's the one who's like that out of control type. And
That's
then,
why you're right that it's an apology, because they always pegged Nick.
Damn,
no
that's
pun
so
intended.
good.
They always pegged Nick Frost as a goof.
Yeah.
And being typecast and being that guy, and it's his
oh,
way.
well, like what is it? Hot Fuzz. He plays like the commissioner's son, but he's like running away with a stuffed animal.
He
once
puts him inside the jail
In
cell,
that
and
one,
then he
too,
just
like,
starts his
that's
shit.
just
Yeah,
his-
yeah, but it's funny. Between this one, who he plays in Hot Fuzz, and A World in 3 different characters.
And then
Absolutely.
Paul. I mean, Paul.
Simon Pegg
Come
the
on.
same exact way. Here,
Yep.
lovable loser. Hot Fuzz, he's fucking John
He's
Wick.
yeah.
And the last one, he's a complete loser. And
Yeah. I agree. I mean, again, their dynamic
It's
is
a secret weapon for sure.
Yeah,
Them two.
It's a lot more refined than maybe again on the surface people don't pay attention to. But
Exactly.
that's why it's cool to come back to these films and then see the trajectory again. And it makes me want to visit more, not just Edgar Wright films, but more like Simon Pegg, Nick Frost pieces.
That's what I like
think-
to say. The rewatchability for this one's really up there.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rick. Edgar Wright started doing solo writing at Baby Driver. That was like one of his first solo written films where he wasn't co-writing with Simon Pegg.
I think Baby Driver was his only solo writing.
His only solo writing
'cause
gig.
After that, he
He just collabed with
Scott Pilgrim and,
Yeah.
and
Even Soho, he had a
Even
co-writer,
Soho,
a woman,
right? Yeah.
a woman co-writer. I just mentioned that because, I think that's where Edgar Wright was like, well, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the Shaun of the Dead guy for my whole life. I want to grow and see what I can find, if I can
Absolutely.
find my own voice. And at the same time, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost kind of found their own voice. I don't remember who directed Paul, but
I
it
think it was
wasn't.
Seth Rogen or some shit.
No,
Or some-
I
I don't
think he
know.
just produced, but there was another director. I think it was Greg Mottola. It was Greg Mottola.
Who's he?
He directed Superbad.
Oh,
Yeah, Greg
perfect.
Mottola. He also directed a film I really love, The Day Trippers, man. If you guys haven't seen The Day Trippers, it's a Criterion film.
Definitely heard of it.
It's got the guy. He's a British actor, very serious actor. Stanley Tucci obviously is incredible in it.
Oh,
But Liv
Levy,
Schreiber,
yeah,
Liv
Liv
Schreiber's
Schreiber.
in this thing, and it's such a fun film. It's about these girls who are chasing Beatles tickets.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's right up
man,
your alley.
It's so cool, but it's like these fangirls who are like chasing Beatles tickets, but there's a deeper thing, there's a deeper connection. But it's Greg Mottola is a great director. Yeah. She was in Dazed and Confused. God, how am I forgetting? I love that actress
Parker
too.
Posey.
Parker Posey. She's incredible in it. But yeah, anyways, Greg Mottola directed Paul. So again, I think as writers and directors and everything we're always exploring. I always have that as a director. I've always told Austin this, and I kind of checkboxed it, early in my career. I always wanted to direct something I didn't write, and I always wanted to write something that somebody else directed, and explore those muscles
Yeah.
and see what that looks like. And I think somebody like Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, like they, take a step away from each other, figure themselves out. Fucking Simon Pegg is contributing to one of the biggest IPs in history with Mission Impossible and Star Trek.
franchise
That
of-
dude
yeah.
found a voice. And I like that he isn't just that guy anymore, like Doug Liman, who like left indie filmmaking and became the fucking action guy.
Yeah.
I like that Simon Pegg's just exploring and his acting and his writing. Nick Frost obviously is doing well for himself. I like that, man. I like seeing diverse careers. Agreed. Not just a clear trajectory. Oh, I knew he was going to do that.
No,
next.
because then it always looks like a safety net thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it always looks like, oh, we can really bet on this guy. Like if we need him to pull out all the stops, we'll just like pair up these guys and that's it, which is great. But
it could have.
I think
we talked about Broken Lizard on this podcast. They could have turned into a Broken Lizard.
Good
and
example.
They didn't. They like grew. They
I respect that.
No, I mean, and
Good
like,
example, yeah.
we're always fascinated about the people like when recently we talked about like Wedding Crashers, and I mean, when you look at Owen Wilson and damn, what's his name? Vince Vaughn. Like they
Kind of
were
the
able to
typecast
find, they did a lot of stuff together. Huh?
Swingers Vince Vaughn, not old school Vince Vaughn, new school Vince.
They were always able to like do stuff together that was great, but then they also explored their own voices, and I think that's good.
It is very good, and I'm excited to see what these guys do next. They might come back and do another film together. I'm sure they will. They're two
What's
good
Edgar Wright?
friends.
I heard something was teased
Feature
with
right now.
both of them.
With Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg.
No, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Nick Frost. I'm telling you, I heard they were writing again.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah,
He was
but
just finishing up Running Man.
Barbarella and the Chain in terms of Edgar Wright. No, Edgar Wright. Right?
That's a TV series.
That's interesting.
Well,
A
like
mother finds
Jodie
herself. I can't really see.
trapped in terrifying kidnapping
Chain.
All right.
Okay. I mean, it's not a solid.
I don't know, Rick. I want to hear your take on this too. You're a massive Edgar Wright fan, and
I'm sorry.
is there?
He took a jab at me earlier.
He did. Everybody love each other. Is there any like in terms? Do you care in terms of the trajectory that Edgar Wright has gone through, and is it? Do you want to see him go in any direction specifically? Are you excited just to follow that man?
I think he owes it to himself to go in different directions. I think a lot of. I mean, I think any decision you make kind of splits the audience anyway. Like What I love about Edgar Wright was the Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I love everything else. Baby Driver and Soho and all that. Fantastic. But to me, it's the comedies that drew me in. It's the comedies that made me a fan. And
the
all
ones
the
you're
I
still
love.
getting inspiration from, right?
100%. I think when I left the theater, after watching Hot Fuzz, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do.
Right?
My life.
Yes.
Yeah. Everything else that
possible.
came
It's
so
possible.
close, and I
You
was like,
see that
hits the mark.
You see that in your writing because though you can write a very well written, solid thing, it always comes back to like, but I want to do it in this packaging. I want to do it with comedy, and it's like Edgar Wright's a master at like, comedy horror, comedy sci-fi, comedy this, but the comedy factor is always in existence, even in Soho, even in more serious films. Baby Driver, like with Jamie Foxx's character, dear God, like there's a lot of comedy. The comedy thing won't let go of him, and I see that a lot.
But I can see
your
any
work.
kind of critique you would have where you're not looking towards the comedy aspect. While you appreciate it, while you love it, you want to see the Soho. Like I remember, you were the biggest one to say like, man, I loved Last Night in Soho. And
it just looked cinematic to me. You know what I mean? It was a period piece blended with contemporary. And I love Anya Taylor-Joy, not just because I have a crush on her. I would watch her.
I told you all about her.
Nice.
With Split. But I'd watch her in anything she does. She's an incredible actress, and I'd love to work with her one day. She's just so good. And I don't think my wife will ever let me, but I really want to. No, but Soho for me just represented a shift, and I think it's all that podcast's fault, Ricky. It's to hear him and Tarantino talk about cinema the way they did, to be like, this guy's capable, quote unquote, capable of like so much more in my head. And that's not fair.
That's when you
either.
realize you can't keep someone like that chained down.
Yeah.
As much as you want him to sit back and make stupid not stupid, but
No.
hilarious, just kind of
Relatable. Yeah.
I mean, amazing comedies, but you notice he's bigger than this yard.
Either. I like what you said about him owing it to himself, because he's clearly making a choice. He's making his choice of even running. Again, it seems like Running Man, though actiony and a popcorn flick thingy, it seems comedic. It seems like it's got something to say with the whole commentary. It's a Stephen King book, so the whole commentary of that book is classism and making poor people sing for their supper, so to speak. So there's still growth, and there's still something to say with those films, but it's in his DNA. And I like what you said. You can say what you want about directors and me wanting to be like, make cinema, whatever that means, but he's choosing, dude. He's choosing whatever the fuck he wants, and he's doing good at it.
I mean,
Like,
even
you know.
Tarantino fans, you have your fans that are after the Reservoir Dogs and the Pulp Fiction. You have the other ones that are, I mean, I want Death Proof. Those are the ones I want. And then you have the ones that
Once
are partial
Upon a
to
Time.
true romance and you know, what he did with From Dusk Till Dawn. It's like
Bastards
you
and-
pick different parts of Tarantino, and that becomes your fan. You almost want all his films to look like Death Proof, or all his films to look like Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
And that's how it is with here. Like either he can make everything look like Soho, or he can make the Cornetto trilogy forever. I think that's something when you talk about like Broken Lizard, not any kind of criticism. They stuck to their guns. They stuck to that the silly comedy.
They
And
kept
for
exercising that muscle.
Yeah, but if you're not a fan of that silly comedy, it's like
That's all they got.
That's all you got essentially.
Yeah.
And Edgar Wright, I don't think is that. I think Edgar Wright's going to end up coming out of the woodwork with something so special one day. Or maybe this is just my selfish hope, but I think Edgar Wright's going to win an Oscar in his lifetime.
Completely
It
agree.
might be for screenwriting.
It's not going to be for Shaun of the Dead, but it's going to be.
No, but I do think he's got massive talent, and despite the fact that it's comedy, it's like it's those comedies. I'd argue that we grew up in the golden age of comedy film.
Yes.
Comedy film, okay? Not like necessarily comedy, but comedy film where we see the action comedies that did extremely well, like the Rush Hours, and we saw the hood comedies that did extremely well. But they weren't just like funny, shitty, poor taste things. They were well made, and they were funny, and the writing was good. And I think Edgar Wright has that going for him. He's not just like, let me get your attention with the funny and the fun and the actiony. I'm going to write something good because I respect this medium and I want to see that through. That's hard, man. It's hard.
I mean,
to
Castro, you're a big fan of Jim Carrey, and you look at his career.
Yeah.
And he exploded onto the scene with like The Mask and like
Ace
Ace Ventura and
Ventura,
stuff.
Yeah, comedy was his thing, but then he
but then
won
you
it.
start watching his serious films. You're like, how
Eternal
could you
Sunshine
keep
of the Spotless
How could you?
Mind.
How
I think
did, how
Truman
come-
Show was the first one where he was like, "Hey, you know what? This is something different."
Which one?
The Truman Show.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even what he did in like Cable Guy, and even what he did, like in Eternal Sunshine, where it's like, how are you going to make chain this guy down, and you want him to be talking out of his ass for the rest of his career? Like he could have,
Dude,
and he
that's-
could have been wildly successful.
That's
but
part
he's
of-
so full
yeah.
of talent. That you're like, why would you want to hold him down?
That's a great one.
That's part of the reason I think we grew up in the golden age of comedy film, and why I love like why I have a guilty pleasure soft spot for like Adam Sandler, because I fell in love with Adam Sandler films via Big Daddy, not via fucking whatever the cheesy shit is. I fell in love with good writing, good comedy. You know what I'm saying? And Jim Carrey, to that effect, like I fell in love, really, 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 really fell in love with Jim Carrey through things like Yes Man, because it had that tonal shift of serious and funny and heart and like the fun rom-com shit too. And
To me, that's his
that's his
back end. Yeah.
weaker spots.
Yeah.
I just fell in love with Jim Carrey.
That's him a little bit
taking
more
himself
tamed.
a little more serious. Like
Okay.
Carl was this character who's like down in the dumps, and they left him, and he's just like figuring it out. And the moral of the story is be more open to life and don't just close yourself off and that kind of thing. And to see that to me is like seeing Jim Carrey expand a little bit. Again, I'm also the guy who loved like Bruce Almighty and those kind of not so serious but very funny but kind of serious things in comedy.
And
Well,
I don't think
Man on
that-
the Moon was also one of those things where it's like, okay, this guy has more than just.
And more than just developing like these comedic beats. I mean, like when we talk about Shaun of the Dead, obviously it's a comedy. Like you can't just say like, oh no, it's an action film that was misappropriated for a comedy and all that. I feel like it's a comedy at the end of the day.
At heart,
but
yeah.
as a director and as like one out of the gate or the first one out of the gate, I feel like he's finding the tools that those
For sure.
like when we talked about
And he's playing.
yeah, like when we talked about Wes at the beginning being like on a dolly track and like going these long ways but following at the same tempo and keeping him very like on a single plane. When we talked about like Tarantino's like zooms and all that kind of stuff, like those little tools that you can change the genre, but now they're finding their style and all that. I just feel like out the gate we already started to see a lot of like his style. We started to see a lot of like him develop stuff. Like watching this, I would have never questioned or thought like, oh, this is his first film.
Yeah.
Like even when I think you brought it
yeah.
up, I'm like, oh wow, this is it. This was the first one because it's so polished. And
It's
I mean,
so polished.
by Universal obviously had like a proper backing behind it, but I mean, still what would you call this indie? Still at the budget range?
Oh,
No,
Was that-
no.
it had studio
that's-
backing eventually. And the funky part about British filmmaking,
British backing.
like, dude, British, like, the British have it good, or had it good. I shouldn't say that
Had it-
anymore. They were like Mexico or like other countries where the government actually gave a shit and funded your films. You know,
Yeah.
they had proper funding and like TV and film.
By the,
100%.
by the way, I looked it up. £4 million in 2004 was equivalent to 7.3 million USD.
Yeah,
So they had a
Well,
nice
that's
budget.
like-
That's a nice
That's
budget.
like what Wes's budget for
Wes's
his
budget, yeah, quite exactly. But again, you know, at least relative studio funding and TV's a little more popular than cinema in the UK.
Yes,
There's
it
a lot
is.
more popularity with that. And
Channel 4.
for him to roll his bones and that kind of. So I wouldn't call it straight indie. I don't think I can call it that. In all fairness,
He definitely had like more playtime.
Yeah.
Like he had more practice. But I
Love
mean,
this.
I mean, he had
as-
2 seasons of Space. I mean, he already
yeah,
knew.
yeah.
yeah, compared to somebody like, I mean, when we talk about, and I bring it up like Wes at the beginning of our month. That guy, I
That's
really
so
don't
cool.
feel like he had a lot there. It was literally like he had a good proof of concept short and probably did some things like when he was in college, but then bam, jumps into a feature.
Yeah.
And then we feel like, yeah, as
Right.
an individual, you started finding your things, but you definitely needed more refinement. And then as time went on, I think he got better. With
Rick, suck it. No,
Tarantino,
Everywhere.
Tarantino was definitely one where it was just like, oh, you had seen so much, so I guess he already kind of knew what he wanted to get out of it, and then he had just
Right.
like the right kind of padding around him.
yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rick. I don't know that Edgar Wright went to film school. I don't think he
No.
did. I think he either dropped out or didn't go to college at all and just kind of started
He
making shit
won
with
an
his friends.
award when he was a kid.
He's cool, and he won a
okay.
video camera for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
He was obsessed with
And
films.
that-
as
No,
a
no,
kid.
He actually
He won an
did go to film
award?
school.
He did?
He did.
I don't know enough about this.
Yeah, he went to Art of Burb or something over there in British.
I'm not sure that's.
In British?
He was in the British.
No way.
Wikipedia. Yeah, he went to.
Where's British?
In British. in Great
Next to
British.
Canada.
Britannia.
I'm pretty sure because I'm pretty sure he.
Yeah, well, look it up.
Yeah.
But, I mean, not that it matters or anything like that, but I just.
Right.
You like hearing those stories of, like, I found my buddies in film school and then we
Yeah.
started just making shit. I think it's just very reminiscent of us, and it's encouraging to see that. But again, this dude, you know, it's not to say just because it's not inherently indie that he didn't struggle to get this made or
Oh, no,
he
and
didn't
I-
make this with his friends and keep it grounded. And,
And
you
then
know, it's
plus,
cool.
you don't see, like, I think with all the directors we talked about, when you're doing your first film, I mean, how much of it are you like, oh, yeah, this is my style and everything? And then a lot of these first time directors, it's kind of like, I'm trying what I like and this feels good so far. And you're just hoping people will connect with it. You're hoping
Yeah.
that it's not going to like go out and be dead on arrival and it's just like, I'm sorry, I thought it'd be cool if I whipped it and then just zoomed in and then whipped back. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Right.
that's not much of a style. But like here, these guys, I think where we're talking about their success is just early
Yeah.
on, their intuition seems so strong.
These
Very good word.
formats
Very
or
good word.
these, I don't want to say genres specifically, but the fact that he's going out on the edge to say even Scott Pilgrim, like, or Shaun of the Dead, you can't use these. You can. Is it right to use these fun film techniques on a film that isn't this? Like this is the playground. This is if you're not taking it too seriously and you get to explore in this playground, you get to use the fun tools and the fun whip pans and the fun racks and the fun like oneers. There's less pressure because you're having fun and you want the audience to have fun. So it lends itself to that a ton, I think.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
But you don't feel like there's, I mean, because to say that these techniques don't have a place later on, it's like he's using the same techniques. And I feel like he'll take them into dramas like he did with Soho. And instead of them being comedic, now they're scary. Now
Yeah.
these like, I think what he's finding here is a great way on how to build anticipation and expectation, which in comedy, the whole idea is that you build up their expectation
Yeah.
and you subvert it with something like comedic. But in horror, it's building up an expectation, subverting it, and then scaring you. And I feel like
Yeah.
he's understanding that these things have punch. They have a feel to them. Even those quick zooms of mundane things, it's this quick montage that gets you exactly where you need to be. And he enjoys them.
Yeah.
And those techniques as he goes on, one, make you recognize his films a lot quicker. But two, I think also just show you that these sensibilities are what's going to make the film stronger.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to give it a distinction.
Nice.
But again, I think with all the directors that we talked about, they're not at the end of their journey for sure.
No, not in the slightest.
They're,
I mean,
they're
these
very
dudes
much
are
exploring,
absolutely.
and as they explore, we're here to do it. Also, what a fun month!
Yeah, I just love
I really
that.
love this month for sure.
I love that Edgar Wright is like when you listen to the dude talk or you listen to podcasts or he didn't leave the UK to come to America to do Hollywood. He's still like a big proponent of the British Film Institute and he hosts screenings. My favorite thing about Edgar Wright that during the pandemic on his Instagram he'd had a stack of Blu-rays. He's a very like physical media guy. He had a stack of Blu-rays, not just Criterions, but this man collects the rarest editions of Blu-rays and DVDs. And like during the pandemic, he was like, "This is what I watched this week," and it was a stack yay high of all the films he was watching during the pandemic, and he'd give a list at the end so people can watch them. And I love that, man. I love that so much to like share the wealth and say, I'm not just gonna hoard cinema to look like the smart guy in the room. It's like I want to share this and
That's cool. Yeah.
expose it and like, hopefully you guys retain it. And a
That's
lot of
cool.
it again was celebrating British cinema. It was very much him being like, hey, we're not the losers of the bunch, man. Like we make some good films. Go check
Yes,
them
they
out.
do. Yes.
It's very cool. I love that about Edgar Wright. Shaun of the Dead, ladies and gentlemen.
Real
Wow.
quick. What
Yeah.
have you guys watched this weekend? Or
I only kept watching the Spider-Man Noir show.
oh, you kept on. I haven't. Does it-
I saw 2 more episodes. I am wondering if Nick Cage's accent's gonna grow on me.
Right, I'm
But
like, what choice
it
was
feels,
this?
No, you know what it feels like is that the whole thing's a caricature of noir cinema.
Because you said you fought with the director because of this or something like that, right?
No, well, I didn't hear about that, but it just feels like a caricature because it's almost like if they said like, like let's take that elements that people think it is and just crank it to like
Right.
10.
Probably his idea too.
Because
It's all Nick Cage's.
no joke, there'll be moments when Nick Cage is trying to persuade somebody and he's like, "Yeah, so what you got over there, see?" And it's like, what? Are we really going to make that a choice? And he's like, "I hear you're with the coppers, eh?"
But it's noir. It's fun noir. That's
Yeah,
But he also says it like,
it's taking the style and saying let's crank it up. And then when you look at a lot of the cinematography, especially in black and white, it's so much better. The color one, I think what's kind of fun, if anybody wants a little fun fact with it, is that the colors match closely to what they would wear on the classic black and white film sets because they knew, like, they wouldn't make them wear black and white. They would make them wear color, but they started to realize that certain colors would be richer, other ones would be darker. Even
they just
adding
kept
like
both versions.
Yeah, no, but adding tinsel on like hats and clothing would help it to stand out. So that way, if he puts down a black hat on a table in a dark room, you'll still see the hat because back in the day you need
reflection. Noir is notorious for using reflection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to me, it's really fun. A lot of dynamic cinematography, which is a lot of fun to watch. But right now the story's like, I don't know if it's the dialogue or what, but it's having trouble keeping me entertained. But also to me, it's like just a run-of-the-mill show. I also haven't watched a lot of TV. I don't watch a lot of TV and series, and I know that the writing's very different because they're just meant to write just enough to get you to the next episode. And after that, they do the same thing over and over. So it doesn't matter how they make it look. It's
That's
just
fair.
Get you to the next thing. And I haven't explored TV that much, so now it's just irritating me. Like I want plot lines to finish up, but that's what I've been watching.
You've been watching.
Yeah. What else?
I think the only thing I saw was a film called She Came to Me. It's a more recent film.
Yeah, she did.
Snap.
And it's directed by Rebecca Miller, and it stars Peter Dinklage and Anne Hathaway, Marissa Tomei. And it's so good, man. Like I was not expecting to like this film as much as I
she
did.
looks cute
Both
in
I
that.
liked it and Sandra liked it a lot. And
Are you just on a Dinklage kick?
I guess. I think that's what
The
happened.
Watch
I think,
Tippy Toes, man. That was a
after
good one,
Tippy-
dude.
That's
Tippy
not
Toes.
Dinklage, you fucking
Oh,
moron.
it's not?
No,
Doesn't he
it's
come
Gary
out in it?
Oldman. It's Gary Oldman.
But it's
Matthew McConaughey, and then I know that Gary Oldman, but doesn't he come out like in the wedding?
Peter
I don't
Peterson?
know. I don't know that he does. But probably because I saw The Station Agent, and then like Amazon just recommended this one, and he plays a composer writing an opera and kind of just has writer's block, but he's married to a
Okay.
hypochondriac, which is Anne Hathaway. And
She's married to that?
yeah, they're
damn.
married, and that's also his therapist. He married his
He must
therapist.
be a good writer.
It's
That's
good,
weird.
man. It's a good film. Like I genuinely cannot recommend it enough. It's very much my sensibilities. And
He's
then Marissa
small.
Tomei's character is a tugboat captain. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's so original, so good. I really enjoyed it.
Like I mean this with all the love in the world, but it's just so funny having a normal film with Peter Dinklage. Like I feel like if you had casted anybody else,
Because it feels like that, but
Good
it's
acting.
got a lot more like depth than I think the trailer even gives it credit for.
But
if
he's
you-
a great actor. He's another one where you say he needs more. He can't
Yeah.
just keep playing the little person everywhere, even though he is.
Yeah.
But his acting chops are just.
Oh man, no,
Agreed.
I genuinely recommend this movie. It's so again, I think it just came out this year, last year, but
What the hell?
it's called
No.
She Came to Me.
I
No,
don't know.
seriously, this is yeah.
I fell in love with her with my cousin Vinny, man. That
Marissa
she's
Tomei is incredible.
Woo!
I thought you were talking about Dinklage.
No, it's good,
he's
man.
growing on me.
Again, I recommend it. Really go watch this film. I think it's so good. Yeah, I think that's the only thing I saw.
You guys
Nice.
in the back
Any shows? Are you watching the World Cup?
looking at each other like.
Speaking of the World Cup,
Like,
I
what
saw
did we
Mexico
watch?
'86. Mexico '86 was pretty damn good. It's the Mexican Wolf of Wall Street. I wasn't expecting that, but that's what it is.
What, this is a film?
It's a film about the first like World Cup brought
is it
to
called?
Mexico. Mexico '86, the second World
Mexico '86. I like that. I love that.
Cup. Mexico '86. Yeah, but it's in Spanish film, but it's Diego
It was
Luna.
on Netflix. Oh yeah.
Diego Luna is the lead.
The narrator.
No, the actor. Look that. Diego
Oh,
Luna.
whoa! So it's not a documentary. It's actually
No,
a film.
yeah, his last name's De La Torre. This is based on a real.
I love it.
And Carlos Sousa, whatever her name is, she's really good too.
Hey.
It's fun. It's good. It's 90 minutes. It's a 90-minute Wolf of Wall Street set in the Mexican soccer world. It's
I'm
pretty
so
cool.
down.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the only thing I saw.
Nice.
Just speaking of the World Cup.
Nice.
You
I
guys have
watched two films. I watched Marx Brothers, The Big Store,
Ah,
and then I watched Mallrats.
cool.
wow.
How'd that feel?
I don't want to write no more. Fucking dialogue's amazing, man. We're talking about Tarantino's dialogue and whether or not
93, I
it's
think,
good.
94.
There's
Kevin
no
Smith
question
is
about
an
Kevin
incredible
Smith's
fucking-
dialogue. It's outstanding.
Shout out Kev.
Shout out Kev.
We need you back.
Mm-hmm.
Austin?
Alrighty. Shaun of the Dead, everybody.
You didn't watch anything?
No.
Anything worth noting?
Yeah, I just finished The Burrows on Netflix.
I've been hearing about that
it's
show a lot.
So simple that it's one of those that you could fall asleep while watching it,
Ah.
but you'll still stop because be like, I want to see.
you're
Yeah,
hooked.
but it's so simple,
Yeah.
but it's good.
I want to watch the new Cape Fear series for obvious reasons, but it looks good.
Who's the guy?
Javier Bardem.
What
He
channel
looks
is it on?
crazy.
It's on Apple TV.
It already came out.
Yeah, it's out. I think there's like 4 episodes out right now.
Oh, dude,
It's not the entire series yet, but there's like 4 episodes that are out right now. But produced by Spielberg and Scorsese.
That's my next watch right now.
And yeah, Javier Bardem looks incredible. He's playing the Robert De Niro role.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Such big
I'm gonna
shoes
watch
to
all
film.
three. The original one, the one from Scorsese.
There you go.
and
That's
the
the
recent
way.
one. I watch them all.
Everybody
What's
out there.
What's the actor? Is it Redford or who was the original? Who was in the original? Kirk Douglas.
No, it was
Fuck was the
it wasn't
original?
Redford.
Might have been Redford. I forget who it was, but
Oh no, no,
oh
no.
no.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Gregory Peck. It's Gregory Peck.
Sean Peck?
No, Gregory Peck. He's legend.
He said it twice.
Robert Mitchum too. Robert Mitchum plays the.
Mockingbird. Roman
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Gregory Peck, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Wow.
Yeah, legend.
Nice, nice.
Anyways, yeah, that's a good idea, Rick. Do a triple feature. That'd be cool.
What's on for next month? What's our next month?
Next month. Oh God, is it time? We're getting into hood comedies this month, man.
Oh my God.
Ricky,
Break
Taking
yourself,
my
fool.
Eric,
cinematographer to do hood
Gossett,
people
Ricky
shit.
Gossett and I
20,
apparently are going to curate
40.
a list of hood comedies because they're such a part of our
60.
DNA,
I'm scared.
and it's going to be a
What
lot
up, Big
of fun,
Perm?
man.
I mean,
What
Big
up,
Worm?
What do I gotta do?
So hood comedies. Let us know your favorite hood comedies.
Yes.
I don't think we've finalized the list, but as a little bit of a preview, I know for sure we're doing the Friday trilogy.
Absolutely,
Did Wes Anderson direct a hood
Oh
comedy?
my no!
He wishes.
Did you see what I sent you about the Hollywood Bowl?
No.
Criterion is curating a Wes Anderson 2-day event at the Hollywood Bowl.
Sheesh.
And it like Wes is curating films to screen at the Hollywood Bowl on behalf
Really?
of Criterion. They're gonna have a Wes Anderson fest.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Um,
I sent it to you. I think it's in July. But anyways, yeah, Hood Comedy Month. We're doing Friday. Don't Be a Menace for sure is on there. Or no, let me say that the entire. Don't be a menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. This is an actual title of a film. If you like the scary movie films, which are the new ones out right now, those dudes wrote Don't Be a Menace, a hood comedy.
Wow.
Anyways, we'll cover films like that. So let us know what you think. Let us know
Yes.
your favorites, and very
We're
exciting.
gonna have fun this summer.
Absolutely. Thank you for tuning into the Watch Star Film Podcast. We'll see you next week. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night, everybody.
love you guys.